Hey everybody on the floor, Denver Comic Con. I'm here with Nicole of Paper Fauna. Fauna said that all weird for some reason. So I'm definitely, if with your permission, I'm going to take a picture to post on our Facebook page because this interview is going to not make sense unless you see this. So she has paper cut art that's backlit and 3D. I had an uncle that did paper cut, but I want you to explain to our listeners how you make your art.
Absolutely. So I cut individual pieces of paper and then glue them together and paint them with watercolor. And then I back them with LED lights. Some pieces, large pieces, have about 1,000 individual pieces. Smaller pieces I have in little pocket watches, and those are about 50 to 100 pieces.
So one of the pocket watch pieces, about how long does that take? And then with one of these big pieces, about how long does that take?
The pocket watch pieces usually take about a week or 2 weeks, depending on how detailed they are. Large pieces can take 3 to 4 months and sometimes more for a really, really detailed piece.
How in the world did you start doing this? Like, this is unbelievable looking.
I was actually a digital illustrator for a long time, and I liked being able to move things around in layers in Photoshop, but I also really missed working with my hands and doing something that was one of a kind and not just a print of something that is done digitally.
Your art has kind of like that Art Nouveau feeling a little bit, like, but also mixed with like kind of almost like a manga style. Like, where do you draw inspiration from for the pieces just in general?
I look at a lot of other illustrators that are working, and I draw inspiration from a lot of different artists. I also really love biology, zoology, and studying the anatomy of creatures and making things a little bit my own.
It's like, I can't get over it. Like it's so like visually, like it's visually stunning, but it's also like incredibly aesthetically pleasing. You have very sharp angles, like to your geometric patterns. Like, everything seems very balanced. Like, how do you manage to keep it's so neat working with something so small?
I have a lot of little individual containers that I put all the little pieces in as I work, and then just kind of put them together as I go.
I am not an organized enough person to do something like that. When you're like planning something out, like, walk me through the process of like planning out a piece.
I do a sketch, usually several sketches, and then pick which direction I'm going. And I do a very, very detailed drawing on a grid paper. So I have everything, kind of planned out to the millimeter, so I know exactly what sizes I need to make of things. And then I do kind of like patterns off of that, and then glue all those together after I cut them.
So, when you say you're cutting them, my uncle that did this used little tiny, tiny scissors. What do you use? Like, how are you accomplishing that?
It's kind of like an X-Acto knife, but it's from Japan. It's a little bit better quality. It's called an NT cutter knife, and it's got a little bit shorter blade to it, so it doesn't snap off as often. And I use that. I have a custom handle for it, so it really fits me well.
These are badass. Like, I cannot get over like how phenomenally cool they are. Where's somewhere people can go to like see your art and like find you as an artist so that they can enjoy this incredible art that I'm enjoying?
My website is paperfauna.com. So it's PAPERFAUNA.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.